All right, back to stories with Steve. This story is like my kitchen chronicles. So every now and again, I'll give a tale of my cooking days, different places or whatever. So in this juncture, basically, I had stopped working for the catering place, right? And I was just looking for an in between job. So somebody told me about working at a famous pancake establishment. I'll just put it like that. You can get my drift. There's only a few. So I get there, and the opening they had was food preparation. So at this point, I've worked for several different places throughout my life, from my 20s to my 30s, going into my will be my 40s. And basically, I've prepared everything from Italian food to stuff for delis to getting ready food ready for weddings and so on and so forth, banquets, buffets, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. So, and at this place, you're basically mixing pancake mix, and at this place, they basically don't do anything from scratch. Like, I went from a place where I was literally making salad dressings and sauces from scratch. If we were making eggs Benedict, you know what I mean? Every ingredient from scratch. You know what I'm saying? So even the hollandaise sauce, right? Everything from scratch for the most part. So this place, they're doing nothing from scratch. I mean, they're not even cutting the damn ham or nothing, right? They're getting everything in boxes, and then you pop open a bag and then throw it in a container, which was not that great, but not the worst, because you're gonna about to hear what the worst is. So at this point, I came from a place where we wanted to be clean, one, and we had to go by New York State health codes when it was coming to food preparation, how you had the food put away, which way the food was situated, first in, first out, all that good stuff. If stuff was expired, it went in the garbage, right? If stuff was past a certain amount of days, depending on what it was, it went in the garbage, right? But at this place, you know what I'm saying, it was ran by, I would say, the chain restaurant equivalent of like a slumlord who was just trying to hold on to every penny, you know what I mean, until Lincoln screamed like a little. So basically, I go into the fridge because I have to prep the food for these guys, because apparently none of the cooks that worked there did any kind of prep. They had like 9 or 10 cooks that looked like they were all over the place at different stations looking confused. And then nobody was really doing food prep. Like where I came from an executive chef all the way to a line cook, knew how to do every job in between, right? So if you were a line cook, you knew how to do food preparation. If you were a sous chef or an executive chef, then basically knew how to be a line cook, a prep cook, a dishwasher, everything, right? But in this case, these cooks don't know how to do anything over. It used to be another restaurant, and it looks like the owner just switched names and kept the same janky cooks who just did whatever he said, right? So in the fridge is a bunch of crap that needs to get thrown out. According to me and to most people out there, you would throw it out because it looks disgusting. It's past expiration dates. You know, like all their specialty pancake mixes like red velvet and chocolate and cinnamon, da 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 da, were all expired. Their regular stuff, because they went through pancakes and waffles pretty pretty much throughout the whole day, it didn't have time to expire. But there was like a bucket of ham floating in slimy water, mushrooms that looked like they were growing other mushrooms, steak that looks like it was turning into God knows what. So I'm getting ready to throw this stuff out because this is what common sense would tell me and what I was taught by professional kitchen people, not these kitchen slumlord type people, right? So I'm getting ready to throw this stuff away, and the guy goes, "Oh no, no, just rinse it off, put it back in, and put a different date." Now, in my old place that I worked at, I wore a chef jacket, and in my left arm, I had a thermometer and a marker. So this way, one, I could check the temperature of meat so it's sent out correctly, because sometimes the eye can be deceiving. You think it's done, and in the middle, it's not. But if you have a thermometer, you know for sure. So basically, and my marker was If I prepped something, I dated something, or if we were saving something for the next day, we knew what date it was. This place was kind of shiesty because what they did was if you were doing any food preparation, right, and you had to date something, or in their case, they wanted you to redate stuff, it would put the date, but it would put your name. So this way, if a health inspector did come, they could blame you instead of blaming the whole entire place, which I didn't really agree with. So this guy's telling me to redate all these food products, not throw them out, right? The place is all over the place. I mean, completely. They don't do anything from scratch. Their fridge was a nightmare. Beyond it being filthy and having a whole bunch of food that needed to be thrown out, the temperature on the outside of the refrigerator, which a health inspector looks at, is supposed to be at a particular temperature, just read error, right? A lot of kitchens may have a separate freezer. This place didn't. They had a freezer inside of the fridge where the door was broken. So the door was broken so it could never fully be closed. And because the error reading on the front part of the refrigerator, we don't know what the hell temperature it is, right? So the stuff in the freezer is like halfway defrosted. The stuff in the fridge is so gone so bad it's about to walk out the fridge itself. Then on top of that, at least in New York, you have to have something holding up boxes. So if you got boxes of French fries, chicken tenders, or whatever, they have to be sitting on top of some kind of object or something. They can't be laying directly on the floor. They had stuff directly on the floor, bags open. And this place was ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? And they were serving people this horrible food. The dishwashers, they looked like they never left, like they slept in the basement or something like that. And the place was so cheap on giving people the correct, I guess save money. The most places that are professional in the dish room anyway, you have hot soapy water, rinse water, and sanitizer. They had 2 sinks, and it was like the soap water was lukewarm and just like spit. It like everybody in the whole neighborhood spit in the sink for a month, and that's what it looked like. It didn't look like any soap, and then some lukewarm, musty smelling water. I mean, the place was ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? And at this point, between me realizing I got to do all these guys' jobs because not one of them it even knows how to prep. So I don't know who the hell was prepping prior to that. I think the guy quit. The dish stuff looks disgusting. The fridge is disgusting. And at this point, I wasn't sure whether or not I was going to carry on in my culinary career. And I didn't want me being linked to several people eating expired and, rotten food and them trying to put it on me, So I worked there for a few days and I had to give them my papers like, look, it's not the place for me. The place is filthy. Another thing too, the way they mopped was the craziest stuff I ever seen. They just took dirty water in buckets, threw it on the floor, and brushed it around near a drain. I was used to people using brooms and mops. Like, it was like, I don't know. It was like a disaster. You know what I'm saying? But that's my tale of working at a very popular pancake chain in the Bronx for a few days. And, because I didn't want my honor or my reputation, because for all I know, I could have went into my own restaurant or something like that, and I didn't want that following behind me, and I also think that's pretty nasty. Having people put their name on stuff, and then you basically like kind of damn near forcing them to redate stuff, or else they're going against the job or whatever kind of BS. But that's my story. Stories with Steve. Horrible restaurant. Bad experience.